She's a puppy. All right. And I think we are live.
Live,
We are
ladies and gentlemen.
live, man. How's everybody doing first and foremost?
Doing great. Doing great. How are y'all?
We're doing well also. We're very excited as we get close to the festival here and excited to see you, Sav, and have some good times with as many friends as possible. So excited to talk a bit about the festival and all the awesome things we do.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So excited to be here with y'all today and tell everybody about all the exciting things we have coming up down the road and everything else. And so, welcome to everyone who's tuning in to the Orbis Current series. This year or this month, we're going to be talking to my guests here, Darrell and Ashley Smith of the Minority Outdoor Alliance, and I'll let them give themselves a little bit of an introduction. Tell folks who you are, how you came to be here today.
Ladies
Sure,
first.
ladies first. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Ashley Smith. I'm married to this good looking guy right here. And we started the Minority Outdoor Alliance together in the summer of 2020. As we can all remember, the summer of 2020, I'm sure that we'll never forget it. It was the height of COVID. It was quarantine for the first time. And we were sitting down and on our sofa, and so much stuff was running across the TV screen. It was just so much happening. And we literally looked at ourselves and we said, hey, like, how can we make the world a better place? You know, I was pregnant with our son. We have a son and a daughter. I was pregnant with our son at the time. And we really sat down and thought about how can we make the world a better place? How can we make a macro contribution to society, and make things better? And a rule in our household is that everything that we do must be authentic. It must come from our hearts. It must come from a place of joy and love. And as a couple, we find so much joy in the outdoors. We love the outdoors. We do different things in the outdoors. Of course, everybody knows Darrell is the hunting guy. And while that is not what I do, I absolutely enjoy being outdoors. And we are both avid conservationists and are here to push the cause of conservation. So that is how and when the Minority Outdoor Alliance was born. And we said, hey, let's provide a safe space to welcome everyone to the outdoors. What were acutely aware of in 2020 and what we are aware of as a nation now is that we have some growing to do together in the sense that we have to create an inclusive and equitable world where we can all feel welcome into every space. And so that is just what the Minority Outdoor Alliance is. It is a safe space. It is an invitation for all to come outdoors, to join us, to have fun, whether you find your love in hunting and fishing in the community, whether you're just out there and you're like, man, conservation is really important. We have to take care of our public lands and public waters. Wherever you find that connection point, we're your guys. We're here to say, come on in.
Yep. Absolutely. I mean, and then it's also when we talk about conservation, it was something that we noticed there wasn't that community that conversation wasn't happening in underserved and underrepresented communities. One thing about our festival that we noticed last year was everybody wants to be in the outdoors and it's all great and everybody's telling these stories. But then when you bring in the word conservation, everybody's like, what? And
Let's
it's
talk
like,
a little bit more about that.
right.
Yeah.
And so we saw that as something that we felt was important in our role and responsibility, um, to also bring to the forefront.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's great. One thing that I'd be curious to hear about, actually you put it so lovely there, about creating inclusive and equitable pathways to the outdoors. I would love for folks to hear about your own journeys to the outdoors. What are your experiences? How did you come to love the outdoors and to be involved in the outdoor sports and so on?
Sure. So our mission statement is to cultivate inclusivity for a healthier outside, and we live that through and through. I think Darrell's story for how he came to the outdoors is a really good example of the importance of representation. So I think you take that, and then my story is a really good example of having a mentor, having someone there who's done it and to guide you. So, you want to tell your story?
Yeah, so I was kind of an unconventional character in as far as coming in. Um, I wanted to hunt, didn't have anybody that I knew at the time, and literally got on the internet and started typing black hunting clubs. None came up, but then my now mentor, Eric Morris, he had been trying to get a African American hunting club off the ground, and it did well for a while. And I was a part of his Black Wolf Hunting Club. Well, as I did more with him, I ended up kind of, getting a lab and learning how to hunt with a dog there. And I happened to be in Publix one day. I always go to the magazine section
The
because
grocery store.
that's what I do. And I like Gardening Gun magazine. And in that magazine, my bird dog mentor, Neil Carter, was the guy that I saw in that magazine. And what's so important about representation is you never know when your image, your look is going to inspire somebody else to want to be a part of that. And that's exactly what happened for me. And another very unlikely thing to do, I cold called the plantation that he worked at. Just completely cold called it. I actually had to dig through the yellow pages and to find the
Do those
number.
even exist?
They still, I was going to say, do they even print the yellow pages anymore?
I had to dig through the yellow pages, and it was a kid from Atlanta calling a plantation. I absolutely thought it was going to be this was like crazy tumultuous thing, and Mr. Gates actually was like, no, like, actually, here's Neil's number, like, give him a call, come on down. And I was like, wait, what? Like, I actually got through. And then I called Neil, and after a phone call a few days later, I mean, I was down in South Georgia learning the tradition, learning how to handle pointing dogs, which became my forte. And it just went from there. So it was just about being bold and chasing your dream, man, like chasing what calls for you.
Absolutely. And I say that's a beautiful example of representation because one of the questions that we get being in the diversity, equity, and inclusion space, and we believe in healthy, open dialogue where we can just talk and grow together, right? So one of the questions that we often get is, well, why does representation matter? And I think that Darrell's story is key to answering that question. You never know how you are a connection point to the emergence of someone else's story, right? Because if we're honest with ourselves as human beings, as a nation, whether you work for a company or whatever it is that you do, there is a story that is called to emerge through you as a vessel and as a human, right? And a lot of things that happen in our societies, we let stigmas and opinions of what people should do because they look a certain way. We let those things get in the way of the emergence of our story, right? But what representation is so important because if you can see someone that does what you know your heart is calling to do, that gives the next person the courage and just that extra push to say, hey, I can do it too, right? And he saw Neil in that magazine, and that was the puzzle piece he needed to make the jump, right? And he's become all that he's become because he could see someone that looked like them. So it's so important. And I think if you are in a place where you have always seen representation, you don't even, and it's not intentional, right? You don't even understand what it's like not to see people do your dream, right? So while Darrell is a fantastic example of representation, my story is a fantastic example of mentorship, right? And I am lucky and blessed to say that my mentor has been my husband, right? So, when he started this journey way back before we had kids, he was always like, come with me, come with me. And I'm a very supportive, encouraging person because I want everyone to follow their bliss. That is truly what I care about, just like as a human, right? I care that Sav is like, man, I am living my purpose. I am happy, right? That matters to me, right? And so, of course, it matters to me regarding my husband. So when he started this journey, I was like, follow your bliss, dude. have a good time. I'll be here when you get back. I'll get some dinner ready. We'll go on a date, like whatever. You go out there, you get dirty, come home,
Oh,
take a
that's
shower.
cool. You got
Yeah,
it.
you got it. We'll have some fun in that. And I'm always honest about that. I don't make light about it because it's true. Because there's somebody else like me who is like, that's not for me, right? But he slowly was like, listen, you don't have to shoot anything. You don't have to hunt. Like, I just want you to come outside, right? And I was like, all right, like you're cute. I'll come with you, right? And so I finally came out with him. And I tell people it is one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life, right? Because humans are great. We have so much technology and so much innovation, and all that is extremely important to who we are. And we need our concrete, we need our cars, we need our buildings, we need our restaurants, we need all of that. But especially as adults, we forget what it's like to get outside of that. Like, there's so much beauty in the outdoors. And I have become like so in love with seeing waterfowl too, but waterfalls
Yeah.
and trekking through the woods next to my husband. We always say we put miles on the books for our marriage. What kind of conversations occur, because we've hiked all of these
Mhm.
miles together. And it's truly enhanced my life, right? Because I would not have been able to see these things. I would not have been able to experience these things. My story would not have included such a connection to nature. And I'm a very spiritual person, so I feel very connected to creation out there. And most importantly, have found this cause of, hey, more people need to care about conservation. More people need to understand that this is a huge, very important job that's very urgent for us to take better care of our natural resources. So I absolutely thank you for bringing me into this. And I am all fired up about not only enjoying it myself, but getting other people out there, and then also raising our children to enjoy in whatever way feels authentic to them to enjoy the outdoors.
Yeah, absolutely. I think those are both really great examples of, how someone might come to this, and just find themselves, find other people, find community.
Yeah,
That's one thing that has always been one of the best things about the outdoors, and being involved in the outdoors for me has been building that community, building those bridges between communities. And I know that that's definitely a big part of what Minority Outdoor Alliance is about as well. So would love to hear, you've talked a lot about sort of what planted the seed for the beginnings of Minority Outdoor Alliance. In the span of 2 years and change, quite a lot has changed for you and for us and for the world and everything else. So I would love to hear more about how Minority Outdoor Alliance has grown. Tell us a little bit more about the makeup of the organization. What sort of the goals of the organization are going forward.
absolutely. So we're blessed to say that we've grown tremendously. It's honestly fantastic. I don't
Yep.
even know that we foresaw it growing this quickly.
Yep.
But something happens when you have a beautiful community, and Orvis is absolutely a part of that community. So I'll say one of the things that's contributed to our growth is community, and having great mentors and a fantastic board. Uh, Having fantastic board members who support us. So we've grown in a number of ways as far as our offerings, right? So I tell people we live out our mission, cultivating inclusivity for a healthier outside. Cultivate is a verb. So that means that we're in there, we have our hands on, and we are working to cultivate inclusivity. And we do that in a number of ways. Internally, what we found is that there is a hunger and a need in the industry to do diversity, equity, and inclusion trainings, right? So internally, we are cultivating inclusivity by offering diversity, equity, and inclusion trainings to organizations across the board, from NGOs to corporate groups to agencies. We've really, really enjoyed doing that work and helping people find their footing in that. And also doing research in that. What does our research down to? What does our research tell us about what it means to create an inclusive culture in the outdoors. So working with companies very closely on that end. We also do a lot of educational things, whether it's through media or writing or our films. We're here to tell the stories that have not been told, to highlight the stories that that have always been there that haven't gotten as much of the highlight. We're here to say, hey, there's some really cool things going down in the Red Hills or wherever it is. Let us tell you about it. And we tend to do that very well through writing and through film. So also we believe in, if you're going to cultivate inclusivity, then you have to cultivate safe spaces for people to come together, have fun, and experience community and experience the outdoors. So we do that through our marquee events. Obviously, MOA Fest is coming up August 26th through 28th at Purcell Farms. We hope that you'll meet us there. So that's our everybody knows about the festival. You got to be there. It's super fun. We have some fantastic sponsors. And then we also do a Learn to Hunt program, which we're doing that in partnership with Pheasants Forever. There's that partnership word again. That's another way we've grown. I was emphasizing earlier, growing is those relationships. So we will be traveling throughout the country, providing a safe space for those who are saying, hey, again, going back to the authenticity of Darrell's story. Hey, I want to learn how to hunt. Well, here's a guy that's done it. We're gonna match you up with a mentor, bring you to a safe space. The cost is on us. So if this is a calling to you, definitely reach out to us. We'd love to have you, and get them all suited and booted and learning the basics of hunting. And so we also have a scholarship. So one of the other ways that being the alliance, being a bridge, cultivating inclusivity, we found that a growing point for the industry is to provide a more diverse workforce, right? So we have become a pipeline for talent through our scholarship program. We're actually giving away 2 $10,000 scholarships this year, which is absolutely phenomenal, provided by the S. Kent Rockwell Foundation. We're so grateful for that. We were able to give 1 last year and 2 this year to 2 deserving college students
and we want to expand that.
And we will expand that as the years come. But those who come through the scholarship program are also, not only do you receive a scholarship, but you receive training. What does it take to have a career in the outdoors? Did you know how many awesome careers are in the outdoors and in conservation? So we take them through that training. And like I said, developing that pipeline, cultivating inclusivity on that side, letting minority groups know how many opportunities are there, and being that bridge between the industry and students. So that's a quick summary about how we're cultivating inclusivity. And then on the conservation side, working with our partner organizations to conserve public lands and public waters in many different ways.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. So all of that leads to, of course, that marquee event that you mentioned, and one that I certainly am very excited about returning to this year. And that is Minority Outdoor Alliance Festival down at
You'll
Purcell
be doing
Farm.
some fly fishing.
Yeah,
Some
26th to 28th.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be bringing that setter pup with me too. Get her out.
Good. Good.
Yes, all dogs are welcome too. If you want to bring your dogs, bring your dogs, bring the
kids.
family, bring your children. Love a kids section.
Absolutely. So tell folks a little bit about the inaugural festival last year and what was involved, and then a little bit about what we can expect at Purcell in a couple of weeks.
Sure.
So first of all, last year was dope. Like, if you weren't there, you missed a good time.
You missed out.
But you got to be there
this year. It'll be bigger, better. But last year we opened up with a whole bunch of hooping and hollering for me and my mentor Neil, running bird dogs in the field.
Your bird dog demo.
With a bird dog demo. We opened up with that. We opened up the morning there. And we had a presentation from Eukanuba Sporting Dog about performance dog nutrition. We had some fly fishing demos. We had wild game cooking last year from Craig Banger and Jane Markham, both of which are just amazing chefs.
Yeah.
They're awesome. And we had a bunch of different other, things going on. We had shooting clays competition, which ended up turning into just a really big clay shooting, hangout party. It became a really good learning tool It was it was an opportunity for a lot of like people who've never shot before, never shot a shotgun before. Your godmom, matter of fact, who I never expect to pick up a gun, actually got out there and was breaking clays.
Yeah.
We had kids there, and it was kids that had never seen a bird dog before, and we were able to pull them into the demo. It was just the entire experience is, curated to be in not only educational but really engaging
and a good time.
Yeah.
Like, we believe in having fun, and you'll see that carried through this festival this year. Offerings are a bit expanded. We have our core offerings, obviously, that have not changed in the bird dog demo. Neil and Darrell will be running that again twice. And we have some more awesome partners this year, which allowed us to expand. Eukanuba is our title sponsor, will be joining us again. We'll have Orvis instructors on deck to do shooting lessons before the shooting competition begins. And throughout the day, we'll have
the Beretta team coming.
The Beretta team is coming, and they are excited to. We have an auction as well. They're going to be donating some guns to the auction, so that'd be a good chance for you to bid on a gun, and some other very awesome trips that we're going to be offering this year in the auction, which we're very excited about. So after the clays competition, you can attend Alabama DNR, who's become a fantastic partner. They're going to be offering archery lessons and firearms 101. So if you're someone that's like, hey, I would love to try my hand at archery, we have a space for you to do that under obviously fantastic instruction and firearms 101. If you're just like, man, I'm new to this gun thing, I just want to learn it. I don't necessarily, if you're not feeling froggy and you want to leap into the clays competition and you just want to start, there's a place for you to do that as well. And for the guys that are like, I got it, you guys hop on in to the competition. We're going to have fly fishing instruction. Sav will be definitely running that, and along with some other Orvis instructors, and that'll be on the water, which we're excited about. SCDNR will be doing a presentation on law enforcement. We think it's really important to break down the silos between law enforcement and really everybody. It's what it comes down to. We want us to all know that we're all people, and we all, enjoy this space. So it's just a beautiful space to hear from them and to get to know them in person. Eukanuba is going to be doing they're bringing quite a presence, which we're so grateful for and very excited about.
Retriever demo from Jeremy Crisco.
Yep.
We've got a shed dog demo. We've got my bird dog demo. We've got a panel discussion.
Yeah, we'll have to do a panel discussion. We'll have a career in the outdoors kind of panel. Some professors will be joining us to talk to students about that. We'll have the dinner Saturday night. At the dinner, we'll award the scholarships, have a quick little show, a little kind of thing, people talk. And then Sunday morning, we'll have breakfast, we'll have sunrise s'mores. And Friday night, you also have the option of coming to campfire cocktails, just jumping back to Friday. Back to Sunday. Sunday will be a half day, starting with sunrise s'mores, bird dog demo, archery lessons, and ending at about noon.
Sounds like a pretty packed weekend.
It is fun packed.
Absolutely. I'm gonna have to eat my Wheaties before I come down there.
Yeah, and drink some water.
Yes, lots of water.
Lots of water.
We'll have a cooling tent. We'll have lots of beverages. We're gonna make sure everybody stays hydrated and fed. Not only do we make sure you have a good time, but we make sure you eat well and you get some water. So.
Oh yeah. Well, if y'all know anything about me, it's that I know how to eat a good meal. So
we've had some very good meals with you, Sav.
We have had.
We're looking forward to breaking bread with you again.
Absolutely. So I would like to kind of circle back a little bit into the mission of MOA and just dive a little bit more into maybe experiences that we have all had personally, things like that really kind of spurred us on into this idea of creating these pathways for other people. Because I think one of the things that is the most inspirational to me about what y'all do, and one of the reasons why I got involved in what y'all do, is that idea of not just blazing a trail, but looking over your shoulder to make sure everybody else is behind you, and bringing people along. So I would love to hear you guys talk about a little bit more about that.
Sure.
Yeah. So, you know, let's go back to representation, right? I want to look the part. I want to be the part. I want to inspire other people, but I can't inspire you if you're not there. Like I can't inspire you if you're not doing it and you don't feel confident about being out there. If you don't have somebody to talk to. We spend so much time in the outdoors, and sometimes I think we realize that Sab, you and I, like we go hunt. It's nothing to go hunt by yourself. But that comes with time, age, experience, comfortability in the outdoors, right? And it's important that we get other people there, but address the fact that some people are looking over their shoulders for the wrong reason, right? They're looking over their shoulders in the woods like, I don't feel good about this. And that's not helping the cause, right? That's not really being a mentor. That's not, it goes deeper than just teaching somebody how to hunt. It's being there as a platform and a lane for communication. And that's what we wanted to do. That's why our programs go outside of just, oh, here's how to hunt, here's how to fish. No, this is what a career looks like. And these are trusted people that we're working with in, the outdoor industry that care about what we're doing. They're looking back over their shoulders, bringing us along too. Yeah. We've had plenty of good people that have reached out and offered their help. Whit Fosberg, Rue Mapp, Howard Vincent, Becky Humphreys. Like we've had people that were so giving.
Yeah.
You, Julia, Reed, like Simon. The list goes on. And it came from a place of pure, genuine love. And it. So why should our organization not model that which we've seen given us?
Yeah. And it definitely comes back to just that authenticity of sharing that, right? Like we care about the emergence of your joy and your story. And if you are a person that's like, man, I've always wanted to do this, I've always wanted to try that, of course we want you to be here, right? Cultivate is not only is love a verb, but cultivate is a verb too. So while we're doing this work and making a more inclusive world, we need everybody here. And I'm very clear, when we travel a nation, no matter what we're doing, that inclusivity includes everybody. I don't care whether you're white, whether you're Black, whether you're Asian, whatever it is, everybody. That's what the future of the world, that's what we're all being called to do. How can we make this a world where everyone feels welcome and has the same opportunities? So absolutely. And we live by that and we really mean it. And we provide many different channels for that more inclusive world to occur because we stand by it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that's where that equity piece comes in too, right? It's that understanding that inclusion and equity go hand in hand,
Yes.
and that recognizing that everyone does come from a different starting point, and that certain things may be necessary for those people to get to where we want them to be. And I think that that's such a big part of what Minority Outdoor Alliance does, is providing these pathways for people to get to the starting point. Starting the race is what it's all about. So I think that's awesome. Couple little things about MOA Fest. Tell us, first of all, we want to reiterate the dates are August 26th to the 28th.
Yes.
At Orbis, the Orbis Shooting Grounds at Purcell Farms in Sylacauga, Alabama. And for anyone who's not familiar, that is a short drive from many major cities in the Southeast. It's about a 2-hour drive or so from Atlanta, 2.5 hours.
From Atlanta.
Not far, even less from Birmingham.
Yeah.
So very easy to get to, with a short flight and a short drive from just about anywhere. How do folks get tickets if they are interested?
Absolutely. So you can visit our website at the minorityOutdoorAlliance.org. And if you go under the event section, it'll take you, you'll see kind of the itinerary, and you can press the button that says buy tickets.
Yep.
And it's we have it separated because we don't believe children, we have children, so we get it. We don't believe that children and adults should pay the same price. And by the way, this is a family atmosphere. Our children will absolutely be there. They'll be bouncing around the bouncy house. Um, so it's separated so that you can buy a child's ticket for the day. If you're just like, hey, I just want to hang out during the day, I'm not sure about this dinner thing. If that's not, however you're feeling, you can just have your adult ticket or your child's ticket for the day. If you want to hang out for dinner and see the scholarship presentation and all that we have to offer there, you can buy a dinner ticket that it's a day ticket and a dinner ticket. And then you can buy a ticket to Campfire Cocktails, which is Friday evening. So you just go to our website under the events section. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us through Instagram or via email.
Yeah, and we'll make sure that those links are in the comment section as well. Is there anything else that you guys want to share with us about MOA, about what y'all are doing, about the festival?
There's one moment, Sav, that I will never forget. And you introduced us to, I know his Instagram name is Mountain Man Khan. That story of how his family hunts, their connection to the outdoors was so moving in so many different ways, but it showed me the impact of what we're doing for Minority Outdoor Alliance, because that family drove well out of their way.
Mm-hmm. And we're excited because they were like, man, we can come to this, like there's a place for everyone to feel welcome. That fits our vibe. Like we want to come. Yeah. So
it meant a lot. It's interesting, man. You're always learning, and to hear stories about hunting practices in the Middle East
and other countries,
like,
for sure.
I think for me, I was like, dang, I just really hadn't thought about that. Like, it's easy to get caught up in our bubble over here and try to do all this extra work, to bring people in. But then how dope is it to find out that, like, you've got these other wonderfully inspirational stories happening around the world too. Yeah. And that's what we're also trying to do with Minority Outdoor Alliance is bring everybody's worldviews and stories to the festival, right, and to the organization,
and tell
to
those
the
stories
outdoors.
around our campfire, man. Like, because everyone's story absolutely matters. And I would say, for me, it's a thank you, right? It's a thank you to Orvis. It's a thank you to you, Sav. It's a thank you to Julia. It's a thank you to Reed. It's a thank you to Yukonuba. It's a thank you to PF, to Quell. I mean, to NW. It's a thank you to everyone for not only seeing in the vision and believing in the vision, but supporting the vision. And because we couldn't do this, by ourselves. So, just extreme gratitude and excitement that our community is growing and that absolutely everyone is welcome to this community. And one of the other questions we get doing diversity, equity, and inclusion work, and I'm not shy about answering this question because I think it is important. We get a lot of questions from white people that say, well, are white people invited to the Minority Outdoor Alliance Festival? Not only you are invited, we want you to be there, because the key word in the name of our organization is alliance. And we're very, very, very serious about being that bridge. And I make it very clear, no matter who I'm talking to, that inclusivity means everyone. Absolutely. Historically, minorities have had to tell you who they are so that we can say that we have a voice, right? That's just the path that minority communities have had to take. So that's why you see affinity groups. That's why you see people popping up to say, hey, we have something to say too. But that's just so that we can get a seat at the table. But it's absolutely not an exclusionary invitation. everyone is invited at this table.
Mhm.
Everyone is invited to have a good time. And we truly mean that. And you can ask anybody that hangs out with us. I say all the time that the festival and all that we do truly is a testament to unity. We are unity in motion. No, you will not be able to go anywhere else and see people from all walks of life enjoying the outdoors together. So no matter who you are, no matter what age you are, if you're a minor, bring your parents. If you're little, bring your parents. But other than that, everybody's welcome. We hope to see you there.
Yeah, I think that really sums it up really nicely, Ashley. Thank you. You know, Darrell, it's interesting that you bring up that moment because that was a really watershed moment for me too. Because the gentleman in question that you're talking about, the way he had found out about the festival, because he had seen some content that I had done with Orbis, and reached out to me via social media and said, "Man, I've never seen another South Asian person engaged in the outdoors at that level, you know, and someone who's involved in the industry." And so for me, that was a real interesting moment to understand the power of representation that you were talking about. And so yeah, it was a big one for me too. So I'm glad you brought that one up. That was definitely one of the coolest moments of the festival last year.
Yep.
All right, well, I think we're coming to a close, but so much of the conversation that I've had with y'all over the years, especially with Darrell, centers around music. And you know I'm a musician, so I gotta ask, what are y'all listening to right now?
Oh.
Oh goodness. All right.
Okay.
What are we listening to? Okay. We're definitely listening to the new Beyonce album. I'm not gonna lie.
I actually bought the vinyl. I bought the
Not
vinyl.
not me. My husband.
I bought
My
the limited
husband
edition
bought the
vinyl.
vinyl. So we're definitely bumping Beyonce. We are big Adele fans, so we bump Adele a lot. We are
444.
Yes, the 444 album and Everything Is Love from the Carters are definitely on repeat. We also enjoy some Kendrick Lamar. And
And I'm gonna just be a little rat cheese, man. I'm a Young Dolph fan.
yeah, we do love Young Dolph. That's the truth. I didn't know, but it's the truth. We're very authentic. We do love Young Dolph. And
then Chris Stapleton.
Yes,
Chris
I was like,
Stapleton.
don't leave Chris Stapleton out, and we love Chris Stapleton. And
Absolutely. He's
throwback.
got bluegrass roots, man.
Hey, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ab, what are
We
you
had to-
listening
yeah.
to?
Your new album.
Yes. Can we talk about everything that you're doing?
Well, I mean, I will very humbly submit that yes, the band that I play in, Unspoken Tradition, did put out a new record in June that debuted in the top 10 on the Billboard Bluegrass chart. So got to throw that in there, of course.
That's so huge.
But as for what I'm listening to, you mentioned Kendrick. That new Kendrick has
Oh
been
yeah.
on repeat for a while for me too. So
Okay.
thank y'all so much for taking the time. We appreciate y'all so much. And, you know, or would like to reach out to you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Sure. So you can find us on Instagram as the Minority Outdoor Alliance. We operate the account, so you'll definitely get us. And then our personal Instagrams, Darrell is the Sporting Life Notebook. Oh, sorry. Darrell is the Sporting Life Notebook on Instagram, and I am Ashley Smith _ Esquire. ESQ is the shorthand for Esquire. And you can always find us, obviously, through our website, minorityOutdoorAlliance.org, and by email, Ashley Smith. I'm Ashley Smith at minorityOutdoorAlliance.org, and you can find him, Darrell Smith, at minorityOutdoorAlliance.org. And you can pull us aside at the festival.
Yeah, or bug Sav.
Oh, yeah, you can bug Sav. Sav knows how to get that.
Yes.
You can bug Sav.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And just one more time, August 26th to the 28th at Orbis Purcell Farm.
Oh, Orbis Purcell Farm. Yes.
Come on out and see us.
Yes. Yeah. We'll see you there.
All right.
Did we get?